Hey, my name's Chase Pettey, and I'm the founder of the nonprofit Adventure for All. And I want to show you our pitch deck today and our presentation from our national summer tour that we did this summer, impacting families and communities and individual exceptionalities all over the nation and teaching them how to ride bikes and just build their confidence, teach them to overcome challenges, and ultimately show the world that they have the abilities to do anything they set their mind to when given the tools and the support system and the belief system to do so. So, here's the opening slide, just kind of mentioning the Summer National Tour with our logo. And next, I always like to speak on why adventure. Why is this a platform and a foundation that these individuals should be growing on? And that's because adventure is a beautiful foundation for giving somebody not only challenging activities to learn and skills that can be challenging, but there's so many variables that can be out of your control, well, within the outdoors. And I think that's a direct correlation to life. And once they get past high school and then into those opportunities to get in a job, they need to be able to adapt to things that are out of their control. And throughout our skills and our programs, our activities, we help them kind of settle into things that are out of their control and be able to adjust. And I think that's a great asset for them to be able to learn for a job setting in the future. So, why is adventure important to us? And it ultimately is to ignite the limitless potential in every exceptional athlete we work with. And below, you'll kind of see how we speak on the belief in redefining inclusion, our mission as a whole, and how this is ultimately a journey to shifting society's belief system within these individuals so that we can redefine their human potential and show the world that their potential is endless. But the main part of our presentation is the bike and the programs and the things we did within these communities this summer. So the next slide is kind of ask why the bike, right? It's a question we got asked so frequently throughout the summer is, why the bike? We do hiking, we do kayaking, we do all these things, but the bike is just one of those things that we felt is seen as impossible for these individuals by a large majority, especially doctors and professionals, as many families told us that they've been told by professionals that it was impossible or something their child would never be able to do. And so, as you guys know, helping somebody overcome the impossible allows you to expand your hope and your mind into, well, if my child can overcome this impossibility, what else can they overcome? And it helps change that trajectory of the family unit as a whole for what's possible for their child. So you'll just see some of the incredible growth on these next two slides. So the next one is the athlete growth. And so you'll see, here in these data points that their belief in self-improvement through effort increased by 92%. Just which means that they, by the end of the camp, they understood that for them to improve and for them to access their goals and access this growth, that they had to put in effort. When they first get there, right, the thought of putting in effort and doing this scary thing is hard. But as they continue to have our support, they kind of continue to instill that effort is necessary. And it's no longer us trying to, help them get on the bike. It's them asking us, I'm ready to go again. Are you ready? And so, that's kind of that data point there. But the other four you'll see is positive feelings about biking increased 86%. Resilience in the face of challenges was 92%. Confidence in task completion, 92%. And then community inclusion, 86%. What we meant by community inclusion was 86% felt the same or stronger about their sense of belonging within a group or community. And that's an incredible, asset in itself. Is once they believe that they belong within society, then it allows them to build that confidence to interact with their peers and be willing to take on more inclusive activities as they're expanded and added into these communities. And so, that's a great data point too, as we continue to build their traits and their characteristics and their skill sets so that they can eventually in life take on a job setting. The next one here is the parental growth. So anybody that's been a part of our organization from day one understands that a huge piece of our organization is parental growth. And it's the understanding that the athlete can only grow if the parent is in a place of accepting that challenges need and must be a part of their child's journey. And so, the parents need to be in a space to be able to kind of let go, but ultimately trust us. And we need to be able to trust them, right? We need to be a team. And if the parents and our coaches can come together and be a team, then we believe that their child's growth is endless, or our athletes' growth is endless. And so throughout the process, the parents grow a lot as well. Kind of like I mentioned before, them seeing their child do this incredible task that's maybe they've attempted to do with them multiple times or they've been told is impossible, helps again inspire the parents again to have hope for their child's future. And so some of the data points we got were confidence in facing challenges. So originally, some of the during the pre-surveys, the parents weren't highly confident in their child's ability to face challenges. But by the end of the camp, after seeing how much they got up and they never gave up and they used their mantras, they 100% of the parents, increased their belief in their child's confidence in facing challenges. Another one was overall program impression. So they were 96% either stayed the same or increased their impression with our program as a whole. So whether that's our coaches, the way we run the program, our communication, our onboarding, whatever it is, the overall program impression had a 96% increase within their interaction with us as a whole. Trust in our coaches. So again, like I stated, trust is such a key element in growing these athletes. And so, having that be 100% was such a huge element for us as a team because, like I stated, trust is one of the foundational things that we need with the parents. Value proposition. So that just means that 100% of the parents stated they would be willing to pay for our program, valuing it at $250 or higher. And, for this summer, all of the athletes and the parents had a full scholarship. So no one paid for the camp this entire summer, but it's still valuable to see that they would be willing to pay $250 or more for this program. And it allows us to kind of show that to other families that even if they get a scholarship, this is something that needs to be taken very seriously, and it is a great opportunity. And then societal perception, 92% believe that society's perception of their child will change positively with their newfound skill of riding a bike. So that's important, right? Because now that the parent believes that their child will be perceived more confidently or for their abilities, it also allows the parent to kind of drop some barriers and walls and maybe signing their child up for more inclusive opportunities with neurotypical kids so that they can continue to be integrated within their community. So that was a great data point as well that we captured. So, between the athlete growth and parental growth, the way we captured these was we did a pre-survey with the athletes in person with their parents. And we helped explain the question and really help communicate that so that the athletes really understood what they were answering to get the most accurate answers possible. And then after the 5-day camp, we would have the post survey. And the same thing with the families. We had the pre-survey. Theirs was digital, though, the day before camp. And then we had it 2 days after the camp digitally. So these surveys were just incredible feedback for us on how we can continue to be better and refine our programs and our processes to continue to bring these numbers even higher. Next, for the bike, you'll just see some of the basic benefits of biking, physically, socially, emotionally, cognitively. For physically, we also have coordination, balance, endurance, visual and auditory perceptions. Social, we have social skills, teamwork, community integration, sense of belonging, their communication with others. Emotional was, mental toughness, confidence, growth mindset, right? Again, them continuing to face challenge after challenge after challenge throughout the process, again, started to build this excitement for challenges because they understood that on the other side of that challenge was a new skill or this new feeling of achievement. And that's something we earn, right? That's one thing we can't give in life is that feeling of achievement. And once they feel that sense of achievement, they start to love challenges and love goals. And at the end of our camp, right, they're all saying, I want to ride a race, or I want to do 5 miles with my dad, or whatever it is, they were excited to challenge themselves for the next thing. And that's a mindset we could all learn from and continue to develop and integrate into our own lives, so that we can all be in that journey of endless potential. And then cognitively, we obviously have mental toughness, the focus and flow state, spatial awareness, multi-processing, which is a huge one, and then quick decision making and memory. And on the next one, I kind of have a visual here. And this kind of speaks to the multi-processing part of it a little bit. And there's obviously more, but, I think, as neurotypical individuals that ride a bike, we tend to take for granted the amount that's integrated through learning this. And so, here we have a coach kind of communicating with them. So they're having to just auditorily listen and process the information that's being received and then apply it while also still doing all these other activities, like the gross motor skills of pedaling, steering, balancing on the bike. And those are things that we obviously want their minds to do naturally, right? You don't want to have to think about pedaling and think about balancing, because when we're on the bike, it's always forward thinking, right? And foresight, right? Am I going to pedal uphill? Do I need to brake going downhill? Do I need to prepare for this turn? So it teaches their body to be able to multi-process and do an activity organically without too much pull from an auditory standpoint, and allows them to think about what needs to happen next. And again, this is a great trait for them to instill and practice going into their adulthood, teen years, and eventually into a job setting. um, the next slide, we kind of get into our athletes a little bit here and some of the data points. So one of the first data points is only 10% of individuals with exceptionalities can ride a bike independently. Again, as you've seen here priorly in the previous slides, this is an incredible tool. It's a tool of endless growth that is applicable for the rest of your life when you learn it independently. And so, considering only 10% of them can ride a bike, I think that is one of the things why it directly correlates with, unemployment being so high, right? They're not learning these challenging skills and tasks at a younger age. Therefore, we're leaving them without the skills and the traits and the characteristics needed to fulfill a purpose and passion in life into adulthood. And so this is just showing that why the foundation of our organization is supported challenges, because challenges are our tunnel to growth. And so we want to give you a few stories and visuals of just three athletes, but one being Alyssa, Dylan, and then Grayson. And so we're going to go through their slides here and just kind of show you the things that they did throughout camp. So this is Alyssa. She's 12 years old. Her mantra was never give up, and she was in Bentonville, Arkansas. This was a quote from her mom. "This program has changed the trajectory of my daughter's life." And then I kind of elaborate on that statement a little bit to kind of explain, why these statements and quotes are so important. So I stated here, even if in those 5 days we didn't fully shift Alyssa's trajectory, the real power comes from her mom believing that we did. The trajectory of Alyssa's life is fueled by her self-belief and the belief of her support system. So what that means is I do believe that we instilled a lot of beautiful traits in Alyssa in those 5 days, right? She learned to ride a bike. She had incredible confidence. She started actually helping us on the last day to get those last few athletes to ride a bike. And so she had teamwork and leadership, and all these beautiful things came out throughout the camp. But with her mom believing that we've changed her trajectory, that means those same challenges and belief systems are now surrounding her throughout life, which means if her mom believes her trajectory has changed, her trajectory will change, because that's the person that has the most influence and time management around her. And so this is why, again, the parental support and parental, connection that we create with them is so important for the athlete, especially in these camps where we're only there for a short time. You're going to see on this next slide, Alyssa riding the bike for the first time.
Eyes up. No, stop pedaling. Eyes up.
There she goes.
And brake.
So you can see, right, she thinks I'm holding onto the bike there.
Eyes up.
Anytime they bike for the first time, we always have a coach film it. And then myself or another coach, let go to show the camera that they're doing this completely on their own.
Eyes up.
And then what we do is we allow the athlete to watch that video. And so from that point forward, the athlete, there's no choice but them to believe in themselves, because now there's proof. And so through that proof and through that video, they just skyrocket in growth and in a belief, because their abilities on the bike progress dramatically, because again, they now see that they can do it. The next athlete we have here is Dylan. So Dylan was 10 years old. His mantra was, "I got this." And he was in Boulder, Colorado. So here's a quote from his mom. "I just wanted to share that I haven't seen Dylan this happy in years. It has been a very rough couple of years as a family. Dylan the most. I can't express how much this is helping him." And then I stated from that quote, that self-confidence and self-belief are some of the biggest variables to growth. Showing them that they can do anything they set their mind to, as long as they never give up, gives them the power to take on any challenge the world delivers. So again, this speaks to, one, the mom is now obviously in a better state of mind. She's less stressed. She's happier because her child's happier. So it's great for the mom and the parent. and the parents. But for Dylan, right, his self-confidence obviously, went through the roof. And you're going to kind of see it on this next video. I'm going to let you watch this and I'm going to kind of explain what's happening in this video, but it's a pretty beautiful thing to see.
Keep eyes forward, eyes forward.
Yep. You want to say something to Coach Chase, Dylan?
So that was Dylan on his first day, at the end of the first day, on the bike, just attempting to learn. And that transition there is his mom videoing him riding his bike home from school on his first day of school.
Yep. You want to say something to Coach Chase, Dylan?
She asked him, you want to say something to Dylan or to Coach Chase, and you hear him yell, "Thank you." So Dylan is now riding his bike to school every day and riding his bike home from school every day. And so again, not only is this a huge help for the mom and the stepdad, because it's given them an hour and a half.
You want to say something to Coach Chase, Dylan?
That they don't have to wait in the school line, drop him off, try to get back home, get to work, right? So it's created a great, family atmosphere, giving everybody more freedom. But ultimately for Dylan, he now has this sense of autonomy to where he can now.
Yep. You want to say something to Coach Chase, Dylan?
Head out and get to school, and it's teaching him time management. It taught him how to use signs, where he needs to ride the bike. Again, tons of application. And another beautiful part is Dylan is now riding a bike with 3 other boys after school, almost 5 days a week. So again, it's giving him this.
You want to say something to Coach Chase, Dylan?
This group of friends, and that tool helped him build out those relationships and be seen as an equal with those individuals. Lastly, we have Grayson. So Grayson was 14 years old. Her mantra was, "I can do hard things," and the location was Lincoln, Nebraska. So a quote from Grayson's dad was, "Watching my daughter continue to try again and again made me so proud. But then to watch her do it and see the smile on her face, I can't put it into words. Thank you so much." And so, my statement to that quote was, the parents have to be ready to let their children be challenged. And if they are ready to support them through that, they will see the endless potential shine. Again, it just kind of goes back to what I spoke to before about really building that trust and making sure the families are in a position to really join this journey with their child and with us and be a part of that. And if so, then the endless potential comes through and continues to shine moving forward. So you're going to see in this next video, again, Grayson, and I'll kind of, again, explain the video after you watch it, but another beautiful video to watch.
Gotta see where we're going. Nice. Your knee hurts? Here comes Grayson. Let's go, Grayson. Let's go. Mike. Yeah, Grace. Gotta see where we're going.
Oh, that was incredible. So you hear in the first part her say it, and then Coach Allie say, "Your knee hurts." So when they say their knee hurts in those camps, it's the first time these athletes have been on a bike and have really been pushed.
Gotta see where we're going.
Muscles. So when she says knee, she means her quad, those muscles above her knee. And since she was on a stationary system called the Wahoo Kicker, she had to do it at minute intervals. That was like her third interval, and so her legs started to burn.
Gotta see where we're going.
So that was her kind of saying, "My legs hurt." But again, really instilling
your
that,
knee hurts. Here comes Grayson.
That's a normal feeling, and you're almost done with your minute. You can do it, push through it, and just helping them find that resiliency in those moments.
Gotta see where we're
going.
going.
The second portion of the video is Grayson at a race called Gravel Worlds in Lincoln, Nebraska. So this is a race that we actually host another one of our programs called Gravel and Giving. So it's a race where we take individuals that we taught how to ride a bike a year prior and take them here to do their first ever gravel race.
Your knee hurts.
And this is a gravel race for completely neurotypical individuals. So it's not some special race just for them. It's one that integrates and has opened the opportunity for our athletes to be included in that race with all riders. And so there's pros from around the world, and then obviously our athletes get to come and be a part of that environment. So we brought our athletes here from Sarasota, Florida.
Gotta see where we're going.
One of the beautiful pieces here is I'm going to replay this, but you're going to see you have Coach Danny in front, Coach Sean next to Grayson, and you have actually Mike, one of our adventure athletes, behind her running with Grayson. And so Mike just learned to ride the bike a year prior.
See where we're going.
And here he is now a year later, about to take on his first 31-mile race. And he's getting to join Grayson along with the other Lincoln athletes in doing their first ever quarter-mile race. And I think it's a
Gotta see where we're
beautiful
going.
just growth
Nice.
opportunity for our adventure athletes like Mike, because
Your
just a
knee
year prior
hurts?
he
Here
learned to
comes
ride,
Grayson.
and now he's getting to take the
Let's go,
position of
Grayson.
helping
Yeah,
a girl
Mike.
find her confidence
Yeah, Grace.
and motivate
Gotta
her
see where we're going.
to cross that finish line, just
Nice.
like we are doing for him. And
Your knee
that's what we
hurts?
want to
Here
show
comes
these athletes, is that
Grayson.
you not only have the ability to do
Let's
these
go,
things, you have the ability
Grayson.
to inspire others.
Yeah,
And
Mike.
so, I'm going to play it again
Yeah,
just so you can see
Grace.
Mike in the background
Gotta see where we're going.
running with Grayson for a quarter
Nice.
mile. Pretty beautiful. So here we go.
Gotta see where we're going. Nice. Your knee hurts? Here comes Grayson. Let's go, Grayson. Let's go. Mike. Yeah, Grace. Gotta see where we're going.
So Mike's a little behind. He got a little
Nice.
tired. But that's what's beautiful, right? He
Your knee
ran that
hurts?
whole
Here
thing
comes
with her
Grayson.
and was with her almost the
Let's go,
entire time because
Grayson.
he wanted
Let's
to
go,
help her,
Mike.
cross that finish line and be a part
Yeah,
of that moment with her.
Grace.
So just
Gotta
another
see
great
where we're going.
transition into the growth
Nice.
as a whole throughout our programs, how they all intertwine.
Your knee hurts?
This next slide here is just a visual of, the routes we took going, across the nation. So, we started in Lake Placid, New York, went down to Bentonville, Arkansas, up to Lincoln, Nebraska, over to Boulder, Colorado, up to Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, and then Ketchum, Idaho, and then all the way back home. So it was a long tour across the country, but a beautiful one, and one that allowed us, again, to really connect with communities all over the nation that wanted our services and wanted to integrate them within their community and show their community that their children very much deserve opportunities to shine, which was a beautiful thing to witness. And from this tour, here's just kind of some overview data points that we dive into a little bit more in future slides. But, it shows communities impacted were 6, individuals impacted 40, our success rate was 84%. And I just want to kind of read this statement here. So it says, the bicycle, a seemingly simple device, is actually a transformative tool with the power to impact life-changing skills, especially when it comes to individuals' exceptionalities. Knowing this, our team decided to set out to create inclusive opportunities for individuals with exceptionalities. We designed and implemented a 5-day adventure biking program in 6 communities across the nation. Our goal? To teach and uplift individuals with exceptionalities to ride a bike on their own for the first time. By completing this impossible task, we helped create an opportunity to inspire their community to recognize the value and endless potential of every one of its members. And here on this next slide, I kind of break down the 84%. Before that, this is just a collage real quick of the athletes. And this is not all 40 athletes, obviously, but it's just some really beautiful snapshots of kids on the bike, smiling, just finding that joy and that freedom and that flow state on the bike, and just seeing the connection through all of them. Also just as a community and giving them that sense of belonging as a group to grow together and be challenged together. 2 parts that I want to kind of talk on is the very top middle here. We have Josh kind of pumping his fist. And then we have over here to the left, top left, you have Joey and Michael, giving each other like a secret handshake. And so these 2 individuals, Joey and Josh, are actually adventure athletes for Adventure for All in Sarasota, Florida. And we flew them out to Boulder, Colorado to be coaches because we hired them last year as adventure coaches. And so it's just an incredible thing to see that, again, the growth within the journey of Adventure for All is endless, right? So we've now hired these athletes to be coaches themselves, because when asked, what's your dream job? 2 of our athletes, and these 2 right here, answered to be coaches like you guys. And so giving them that opportunity to inspire others. And within Boulder, we saw some of the fastest growth rates, because I think there's that translation of, seeing somebody that you closely relate with do the thing that you maybe think is impossible or is going to be extremely hard, do it, just gives you a sense of a belief system a lot quicker. And so these athletes believed in themselves so much quicker because they saw somebody that they related with doing the very activity itself. So, that was an incredible tool and incredible thing to capture, because now we're going to start incorporating, an adventure athlete with an exceptionality, or an adventure coach with an exceptionality, to be a part of almost all of our programs to help inspire that belief system sooner for these athletes. So the next one is the one I was speaking about. So just kind of a breakdown here. During the 5-day camp, 80% of the individuals we worked with learned to ride the bike, but 4% did learn after the camp within 2 weeks. And that was because we continued to communicate and give resources to the parents so that, again, they had the tools to teach their child. The other 16% were just parents that's, maybe again, like, onboarding them, wanted to drop their kid off and was willing to do the part of getting them there, and hope that we would teach their child. But after the camp, just maybe didn't have the time or the resources to apply the tools that we were giving them to continue to work with their child. So, we're going to continue to work on that and how we can make things more accessible, so that these athletes can continue to progress. Even the ones that learn, right? We want to continue to give tools for them to elevate and grow and continue this journey on the bike, and within their journey of endless growth. Our increase was a total of 206%. And these are percentages that were captured through the 3 assessments that we did within our pre and post surveys. So the 3 assessments were independence, self-confidence, and sense of belonging. So we saw an 83% increase in independence, a 70% increase in self-confidence, and a 54% increase in sense of belonging. Right, I mean, I'll take a 206% total increase any day. Just incredible feedback again to our team, how we run our programs and how these programs are deeply impacting these families as a whole. So the next few slides are just beautiful quotes that we wanted to share with you. Dylan's mom, that's the quote I read earlier. This is another athlete, Sophia's mom. This is somebody commenting on a picture that she posted, just saying, just wow, I'm not kidding. I'm crying watching this. What a tremendous journey and what a beautiful village of people supporting her the whole way, and so on. And then, her mom answers, I know it is the most amazing program. All of us are continuously in awe. Next, we have Ben's mom, Austin's dad. Austin's dad spoke on how Austin now is riding 3.2 miles with his dad after just learning to ride the bike. And not only that, he states, his confidence is at an all-time high. So again, it's directly, correlating to not just an activity, but to his life. And Ben's mom even speaks on that even more, right? She speaks on the application of his mantra and the growth he received within the camp. So, here I'm going to read this one. It says, as I told Chase, your camp has helped him become more confident in more areas. Today in speech, they were getting ready to do their introductory speeches. He got up and told his speech teacher that he had to use the restroom. Usually he just gets up and goes. So she was kind of surprised that he said something. After he had been away a few minutes, she went to check on him because he sometimes uses trips to the restroom to avoid hard things. He was not in the bathroom any longer, but was in a nearby classroom, and she could hear him talking. She listened and realized he was talking himself into getting up in front of the class and doing his speech. She heard him say, Ben, you can do hard things. I am sure he was remembering someone from camp telling him that. He went back to the room and delivered his speech. So his mantra during camp was, I can do hard things. And this is a direct application that anytime he felt challenged or felt like something was maybe going to be too hard, he was able to lean on this mantra that helped ground him and feel that, hey, it's just because it's hard doesn't mean you can't do it, because he just went through a journey of doing something that, again, he thought was maybe too hard, but did it. So again, he's built this self-belief that allows him to lean into a mantra to know that he can do this. And so that's just a beautiful thing to see. We have a parent group message here that you guys can read of just parents sharing their awe about the program. We have pictures of Zach and his mom now riding bikes together as a family unit. We have a quote here from Owen's mom saying, I can never thank you enough. This was a struggle I didn't know if we would ever overcome. We were definitely blessed to be a part of this program. And this is probably the highlight of our summer. Thank you. Dylan's mom, Jace's mom right here. I just wanted to let you know that after seeing you 3 work today, I wanted to tell you that your service is invaluable and you guys do great work. And then this is Eva's mom here. The next slides, I want to talk about how this is more than biking. All right, like much more than biking. During our summer tour, we hosted AFA film premieres. And within these 4 film premieres, we were able to, get 20 new nationwide volunteers, and we were able to educate over 120 in-person community members at these film premieres. So we inspired them through our award-winning films all over the world, and then it allowed us an opportunity to open up conversation and allow them to ask questions that, educated them. And then from there, it also allowed us to activate 2 big fundraising campaigns that I'll talk about here shortly. The next one is our volunteering. So we didn't just go as a team and volunteer within these communities. We brought our athletes because we wanted to show them that, you also can give back to your community, and you can also be an asset in the growth of your community. And so here we have a picture of our athletes and our coaches at Pedal It Forward, where they helped rebuild and fix 20 bikes to go to underprivileged kids that can't afford them. And so again, it was a beautiful day getting them to just learn the bike more on a deeper level, but also feel that sense of just giving back and what it means to invest your time in others. And then, we did, multiple of those throughout the summer. The next one here is one of those fundraisers I was speaking about. So we were able to partner with Lachlan Morton, who's one of the top cyclists in the world, and his management team. And he ended up helping us raise over almost $30,000 by completing the 2,700-mile Great Divide bike ride and breaking the all-time record by like 35 hours. It was an incredible challenge, and it spoke directly to our mission, which is human potential is endless, right? Records are meant to be broken, and possibilities are meant to be possible. And it was a beautiful bridge to seeing him overcome something that most thought he is unbreakable, and allowed us to connect that message to our athletes, to open the eyes of society and how they see them. So that was a beautiful opportunity, and through that we gained over 600 new email subscribers and believers in our mission that we're going to continue to connect with and grow within our mission. Next one is you have program development. So you have Josh and Joey here at the Wahoo Center in Boulder, where we did some testing with them, and it was they were the first athletes with exceptionality to ever get tested by the Wahoo science team. And it was that data that we wanted to collect to, again, show the world that they too are athletes and they too can really push their stress levels, because they now believe that they can. Here on the next ones, we have our sponsors. So these were sponsors that provided product and financial assistance to help make this possible, as well as you as a donor. So thank you, and thank you to these sponsors for continuing to align with our message, our mission, and our message. And here we have the appendix. I just kind of want to speak on some of our abilities here as a whole, which is, we really believe in the power of language, and how when we use positive language and language that makes things feel more possible, that's what allows them to succeed and grow. And so, by saying they can, or it's hard, but they got this, or if they fall, they'll learn to get back up, and having that belief system and that understanding throughout the journey is what helps, increase their ability to grow. If we're telling them they can't, or it's too hard, or what if they fall and we're showing fear, then they're going to attach to those things and not believe in themselves. And so language is extremely powerful, and something that we tell them at the beginning of camp and all through camp or all through the workshop is, you can do anything you set your mind to. And even if you do fail or struggle, we will be here to support you through it. We will never give up on you. This creates a sense of confidence to help overcome their fears and show themselves they can do anything. It's just, again, it's a statement that allows them to know that, we are going to be there for them through it. Now, we don't tell them it's going to be easy. We're honest, and we tell them it's going to be hard, but we tell them that we know they can do it. Yeah. So again, we do feel as a foundational, element of our organization is to have this understanding of power of language. So we educate our coaches, we educate our team, and we continue to learn this skill of using the right language, especially in the right times, to help them overcome those challenges for themselves. And you can kind of see the application of that power of language. And this is why we know the element of mantras is so important within our programs. And so these are just some of the mantras that we lay out as options, and obviously they have the ability to creatively create their own. But here are some of the ones that athletes over the summer have taken on, which is: I got this, I can, I will, I am brave, I choose to face challenges, fall down 7 times, get up 8. And again, these are just things that continue to give them something to lean on for their growth. And next, we're just going to kind of dive into the numbers here a little bit. So the continuation of every exceptional athlete's success will come from research and refinement. And, we know this as a team, that we're only as good as the things we capture, right? We know we're seeing growth. We know we see them growing. We know they're learning to ride the bike, but we need to know where our focus needs to continue to shift as we continue to grow as an organization, so that we can only continue to get better and better year after year. And so in this next one, we kind of show that within our success rate here. And, our success rate insights obviously show that for autism ages 13 plus, we had 100% success rate. So that tells our team that our current layout obviously can still have a little bit of refinements, but it's working, right? Obviously. So it's really working with those ages for autism ages 13 and plus. For Down syndrome 13 and plus, we have 76%. So there's obviously a little bit of refinement there we could do for those individuals. For autism ages 12 and under, 71%. So again, help set ourselves up to meet them where they're at that age, cognitively, physically, things like that. And then obviously kind of the elephant in the room here, Down syndrome, ages 12 and under. Such a key element for us to capture and continue to show our team so that we can build the right protocols and journey for them, to set them up for success. So this is where we're obviously going to spend our off season really developing more ways to prepare our team to better assist and progress individuals with Down syndrome ages 12 and under. And so, kind of what we say here is these insights helped our team implement strategies for each exceptionality, age, and more to continue enhancing our training protocols. These new protocols will advance our coaches and help them be better equipped for any age or exceptionality. It will also expand our individualistic approach, allowing everyone the opportunity to be supported through their personal challenges and the journey to learning a new adventurous skill. Here on the next one, this is why, I think this is important for everyone to understand, is that exceptionalities are increasing and they continue to increase. And this is why tools and these developments and these educational practices and these innovations that we're creating as an organization are so key and so important. Down syndrome in 2008 was 1 in every 1,200 kids. Now in 2023, it's 1 in every 700. So it's almost doubled in that short period. And for autism, it's growing dramatically. And autism in 2000 was 1 in every 150. In 2010, 1 in every 68. In 2020, 1 in every 44. And now in 2023, 1 in every 36. So, you see it's, almost a 5x increase in a matter of 23 years. And so it makes you wonder where we're going to be in another 23 years. And, what we need to notice here is, not focusing on the increase, but focusing on the increase of tools, the increase of understanding that they are a part of our communities, they're a part of our society, and they deserve the same opportunities to be, integrated within communities and have purpose in life and have jobs, and they are more than able to do all of those things. And so we are going to continue to create innovative educational practices so that they can. Because these individuals are a growing part of our communities, and it's time that we believe in them enough to challenge them for the future. And on this last slide here, we have some hyperlinks just to be able to show you some of the data that we captured, that's implemented within this PowerPoint. And lastly, obviously, thank you. And this is Coach Allie picking up Michael and just kind of showing you that at the end of the day, we're going to be here every step of the way to pick these kids up when they fall down and show them that their abilities are going to outshine any exceptionality that they may carry, because effort and belief in oneself are the core elements to endless journey of growth in life. So, thank you for being a part of this presentation. Thank you for taking the time to watch it and hear what I have to say about the pitch deck, and thank you for taking the time to review it. And I hope for the opportunity to continue to expand on this and have a phone call and just continue to bring our bridges together so that we can come together to advance this mission, advance our programs, and advance the growth for these individuals and their families. So thank you so much, and have a beautiful evening. Thanks.